Well, I'm not doing origami fish, which I could do with 180 sheets of Discomo origami paper, but I'm going to cheat and use scissors, a pair of scissors, and this Geniani humidifier with the three-way pictured on the front. The bestiality three-way. I know you people are thinking it's perverse that such a thing would exist. That I'm perverse for thinking such a thing might exist, but it's right there. You know, the man and the dog invited the girl into bed with them. It's right there. In black and white and all the other colors of the rainbow. So again, it just goes to show how one has very strange views of sexuality by essentially doing what I did, ignoring it for most of my life, and then embracing it after I became an adult. So anything is possible. I wasn't indoctrinated. I just look at the pictures. So this could be part of a fin. I'm not sure whether Elmer's school glue is going to work well on this material, because this material is a little bit glossy. But it's worth the few minutes that I will spend trying it out. I'm trying to take off the parts that might have some value to me in making fish. I'm not entirely positive. I will find out in a minute whether I'm going to use the picture of the humidifier. I know I will not use the picture of the three-way. That's just, again, too weird. I'm not doing a very good job of cutting that very straight. Good. We can revisit this other stuff later. No, we're not done yet. As nice as this little dot is for the possibility of it being an eye, I don't think I'm going to do it. I like the light. I may need this. And I may need this little tiny bit of blue here. Kitty. My cat is weird. Yeah. I know you're saying all cats are weird, but my cat is weird. Kitty. Oh, no, I don't know where. Now, is that blue or black? It's probably black. I want black in my fish. Okay. I think I can throw these out. Oh. There's another bit right there. I don't even know whether I want these things. mean, I could, this right here would be part of a fin. Okay, I think I can throw this stuff away. So let's move the glue where it belongs on that side, and let's see what we have. We have, usually I've discovered in my having done this for as long as I have, that the things that I plan on first are, finding out what sort of finnage I've got going on for me here. But that's generally easier than the other thing, which is figuring out how the face is going to work, the head. So zeros or O's or dots can easily become eyeballs. And sometimes you get an eye and a mouth in one thing, like you do right here. See, there's a mouth and an eye right there. So because of that, we've got a black or dark, this is actually dark blue, not black, body. And that's going to go like that, and it's going to have, it does have to have a little fin behind its ear, where its ear might be if it had ears. Do fish have ears? Whales have ears. Fish probably have ears. They probably can hear things, whether they have ears as we know them. Okay, so do I want it to look like that? I think I want the top to be straight. Now this glue may not work. I should probably really try this out first, because I don't want to sit here and make a bunch of fish and pick them up to put them away and have them all fall apart on me, do I? Now, this is going to have blue fins with little tiny bit of white trim, like this. That kind of a fin. I don't have a lot of that kind of trim available to me. I have to be very careful about the few little chunks that I've got. I've almost used them up, and I may want to make a pair of these fish. So I haven't made a fin like that in a long time, but I can see why I haven't. I think I need to do that. I'm not wild about this G face, but it will function. I think what I need to do is come up with other similar fish like this one. See, this one's talking. And really fat. Except he needs one of those little thingy fins, doesn't he? I think I can leave the thingy fin off of him. He's one of those little fish that doesn't have one of those thingy fins. You know what I mean. You know what I mean by those thingy fins. This one is looking that. Does that look like enough like an eye? I don't know if that does. Eye in a mouth, I mean. Okay, what happened to my Oh, good evening and good night. Well, good night then. Be that way. No, it's way too early in the morning for you to even, or whatever time it is, for you to be up, Marilyn. So, get back to bed, you. I may save these for that kind of a fin. I don't have much of this either. This is all I've got left. So, is that enough to make at least 3 fins? I think so. This is one of those boxes that makes me think of animal husbandry, or genetics, or whatever the word is, where you take a blue fish and a white fish and you bait them and they turn into a different kind of a fish. Because here I've got some enough to make blue fins and blue bodies. I have enough of these to do something else, so I think it might be fun for shits and giggles for me to create a little family of befinned slightly different finned fish. So these are the blue fins with a little white stripe animal. This is light blue with white stripe animal. So this becomes more like what's the word I want here? Use your words. This becomes kind of like being in science class. Which had its points back during my let's not think about sex ever phase in my life when I was in high school, when I should have been thinking about sex all the time. Little bat squeaks of sexuality reared their ugly head in Mr. Lund's science class, because he was pretty hot, that Mr. Lund. My mother thought he was quite a catch, too. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black, dark blue fins. I've got some light blue fins. I can have some white fins with blue edges. So this set of fish are going to be about the finnage and how they slightly differ. So there's enough fins. They're all going to have black bodies. Now this is going to have the tricolor fin. So let's do this. We have to get 1, 2, 3. Do I have enough room for any of these to have little, those gill fins? I don't know if they do or not. Okay. I'm not going to do anything with these. I should probably save that though. I have some black and white, a box of black and white stuff. Now this is, use your words, this what here? What do you mean by this? We also have these little curved sections that I haven't been really paying much attention to. And I don't think I really need to necessarily pay attention to them. These are more fins. I think I do need to have, I can't tell if, is that black or is that blue? I'm saving this for some reason again. Why is that? Why am I doing that? For that? That's all I'm saving it for. This particular cardboard is, its edge that you cut is somewhat fragile. I may have cut off more than I can chew there. Okay, look, I also have these things. And those little curvy thingies. Oh, look at that. There's 2 eyes and a mouth right there, sitting right there. Cool. Uh-oh. Eyes. And a mouth. Come on. Thank you. Eyes and a mouth. And let's turn this into a... It's going to have kind of a flat head. A little bit of a beak. What should I be doing right now? Is this staying put? I guess it is. Because of these just don't even want to fit. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do those little fins. I'm going to leave these finless. Okay, so I've got a blue body. So now I've got a blue body in my... What's the word I'm dealing with now? With my animal husbandryism. So I can make another blue body. Those could be little fins. No, I don't have enough to make eyes and a tail fin. These are going to be eyes again. Eye, ball, with an eyeball. It's going to be a mouth. I don't know. It could be another eyeball. So this, I think this needs to have use your words, Pierre. What does it need to have? You went through all of the trouble to start a sentence. Fin. 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 Little. Okay, so blue body or light blue body or white body on this one? Are these fish going to have all three colors like I did yesterday with the red, white, and blue fish? Blue, white, and blue fish here. Do I have all three on each? I could have an all albino fish. That would be kind of a nice thing to throw in the mix. Okay, I need to have something that looks like it could be, if I did that. Why did I do what I just did? So one of those albino cave fish that are blind. Sometimes they have little tiny eyeballs, and sometimes they have really big eyeballs. Or maybe they go through a phase where their eyeball is really tiny, then really big, or something. I don't know how they work. I'm not an animal husbandryist. Now, creationists would say that those animals didn't evolve, that God made those animals. So again, you're an all-loving God, and you make a bunch of blind fish. I know. I'm going to make a cave, and I'm going to put a bunch of blind fish in it. Haha. Is that how that worked? Get back to me on that one. So we've got that fish, and we have that fish. We've got these two eyeballs. Yeah, those are eyeballs. And they are going to go on some sort of weird mouth. I think they can have a mouth like this, because it's not symmetrical, and the eyeballs are not symmetrical. So I think that would make an interesting fish head. Do I want to have, I think I want the nose on top of this one. Those are little nostrils, I've decided, in my wisdom. Okay, I need to have these go up far enough to sort of glue. Glue. What did you hear me say? Looks like a 5 o'clock shadow on that one. Am I going to use this little piece? I might. I just might. Okay, so I think the body of this one has to be blue, light blue. There's just something about that seems to be screaming out light blue. Later today, I think I get to draw with Russell. He's been dealing with a folk music festival at his place of work, which I don't think was part of his job description. That's the word. Job description. I think that was something that they decided to tack on to torment him. And he's been a little bit distracted by it and not his usual happy self. And you're wondering, are we talking about the same Russell? The one that sounds kind of like a young Ned Sparks? Ned Sparks had this deadpan delivery like that, and that's sometimes Russell has that delivery, which is kind of Ned Sparksian. So he doesn't sound as happy as I know he is. Anyway, I think I'm going to make this one be... Now, what did I just say? I was going to make some albino fish, right? if I'm going to make an albino cavefish, I have to have something that represents an eyeball. Just one little tiny thing. There's teeth in that thing. I don't think this is about teeth. I don't think that's what this one is about. See, there's two more eyes. And have a slightly different mouth. Somehow. Well, there's a mouth. Little O. That one. What do you think? Write your answers below. Okay, don't write your answers below. Why did this do this? Because I touch myself. Yeah, I know that. So yesterday, I had a very delightful day with Briar Bear, aka Christopher, and someone who I met on this very channel. And he came up from New York, not New Jersey, as I was mistaken, and ended up spending the afternoon taking me to dinner. I took him to lunch. He took me to dinner. There's a little tiny fish right there. Look how easy that was. Another little tiny fish. What did I say about making only 3 fish per box? I haven't made a single one yet, though, have I? Okay, my rule is they have to have 3 all three colors. So maybe I won't do a albino fish. Look at this old tiny fish. Oh, but a tiny fish. Right there. So what color does he need? Hey, Will Hodge. It was a lovely time. We spoke about our good friend. He has the same opinion as you and I about what's his name? Bruno. He started watching Bruno because of pipes. Breyer is a pipe person. The Attack of the Pipe People. And he does not like Bruno. But I think maybe part of the Bruno mystique is I think you have to be heterosexual to even begin to comprehend what he's talking about. Because some heterosexuals have this belief that the sexes are different. Where's my coffee? Oh. So he left with 4 pens. He got 2 very nice Waterman nibs. 1 rather nice Waterman pen. The other Waterman pen is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Just the condition is a little funky. And I don't have any of those kind of pens, do I? Shit. I almost cut off the wrong thing. Blue with a light blue edge. Which means I need a lot of black. I almost cut this wrong. Pen. Okay, I don't need more than 3 fins per fish because of the way I'm building these. I don't think they will hold a side fin. Oh, what did you miss? Breyer shares our opinion of Bruno in that we don't understand well, I don't know, we do understand him. We find him kind of jerk-like because of his beliefs. Oh. Is there going to be enough here for me to make a little tiny fish? Look at that little tiny fish. Do I need to have his mouth open? I can hardly cut this thing. He was better before I cut his mouth open, wasn't he? It's okay. It's okay. Can I turn this into a little fish? Hey, FX Technol. We spoke of you yesterday too. With Briar Bear, who's presently at his hotel. Will that be another fish? I already have a fish like that. It was vaguely positive. I forget exactly what we said, what I said. He has. Oh, it was about the nib. I think I found a nib that will go nicely in your Waterman. Though I have to look at it again. It might be just a little tiny bit scratchy. It might be a little bit more suited for a calligrapher. A little prickly, that's the word. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, where's my coffee? I have one photon in my house. That's all. And it bounces around, losing a little bit of its photonation as it bounces. And that was right there. You're turning into an omnivore, Mr. FX Technol. Soon you're going to be talking about eyedroppers. I'm just letting you know. It's a slippery slope. Can this be a mouth? Can this be a fish? I think so. See, right there. It can be a fish. The big eye. Okay, that's going to have, is that going to have this kind of tail? Okay. You don't own them now. I said it's a slippery slope. Did I not? Did I not say slippery slope? Can this be the eye in the mouth of a whitefish? Can I turn this into a whitefish by just taking off all of the black except for what I want, blue except for what I want? Does that look like a fish head to you? Let me put it on a fish body. I think I'm pushing it there. It's hard not to see an E. Well, there's something about this particular box because of its glossiness. I think I'm going to have a hard time gluing too many layers on it. So what I'm doing is, my shtick for this one is to have, on the profiles like this, to have them be the mouth and the eye and the body be as few pieces as possible. I don't know. I'm not explaining myself very well, but I'm just afraid that it's gonna fall off. Okay, so let's pretend here's this body. Let's add some fins. I'm going to give him this fin, not for any particular reason, but it has to be. Doesn't have to be. This shtick also is there has to be all three colors: light blue, dark blue, and white on each of these creatures. And I'm thinking when I'm done, I may arrange them to look sort of like showing the way they're bred. Do I have another one of these? So, Effects Technol, I was talking earlier about the box that this came in. This is a humidifier, and the box has a photograph of a three-way in it. That's the first fish out of this. I'll just show you the picture of the three-way so you understand what I'm talking about. Right here. And in this case, it was the guy and the dog invited the girl into bed with them. Look at the way the guy is like making the girl purr by rubbing under the chin. I mean, it looks like they're the couple. The dog is bored. Oh, geez, do we have to do this again? I don't get it. For a better you. Three ways for a better you. Do you know that TV show called Rake? Australian lawyer. One of his cases, he defends a man who videotaped his wife and his wife and their dog having sex, which evidently is against the law in Australia to do such a thing. And he realized at having watched the tape, he and his cohort in law were just appalled and disgusted by it, and for some reason they had to watch it a second time to try to. The man's wife, the man, to his credit, did not want to tarnish the name of his wife, so he, by suggesting that she also was happy with this three-way bestiality relationship, so he suggested to the lawyer, he said, it was a prostitute. It wasn't my wife, it's a prostitute. So, and Cleaver was saying, I can see it's your wife. He said, I don't want it to be known it was her, it was a prostitute. Say it's a prostitute. So they had to look at the tape a couple of times to make sure that her face was obscured enough. And in looking at the tape, they realized, two or three times, they realized each time they looked at it, they were becoming desensitized to the whole thing. And it was becoming less and less appalling. So he used that in court. He would, anytime he had the opportunity to play the tape again, he would play the tape again, and he would say things like, look at frame 10,052 again. Does that dog look like he's unhappy? Because he wasn't being arrested for bestiality so much as he was being arrested for cruelty to animals. And anyway, it's a very funny show. Bending dog fart. Well, you're Mr. Killjoy. No three-way there. Okay, I've only finished one fish. Okay, so if that fish, let's just take these two fish as our beginnings. So I'm going to make this fish have this kind of tail. Big, fat, thick tail. And this one, because it's a little wonky looking, it's a little non-symmetrical. It's going to have little non-symmetricality elsewhere too. It's going to have one big fin and one little fin because it has sort of one big eye and one little eye. Not big eye, it's just not, it's lopsided. So this is going to be this fish and the fish I finished first for alliterative purposes. The one I'm finishing second does not have alliteration happening with it, but so this fish and this fish, if this fish and this fish had a baby fish, what would it look like? Well, it has big eyes, big white eyes, little blue eyes. It has their mouth. The mouth is both white with a blue inside. And they both have tails that are white and blue. Not dark blue, but white and blue. So would they have a big eye and a little mouth, a little white mouth, and here we have well, it's sort of like both of those. What sort of fins would it have? I don't know. Not sure. Well, I think that's going to be another dark-bodied fish. Skinny, dark-bodied fish. Come on. Looks like Santa Claus. You have to desantificate that one. Okay. Desanctify, desanctificate. Has anyone heard how Parker has been? I've sent him a couple of texts, and I have not heard a thing. So, of course, I'm worried. That's a mouth, 2 eyes. So would this work? Almost. I should have cut that a little differently. Do I have another option? I don't think so. Those could be little eyeballs. And a mouth. When I see a mouth like this, I think of Al Jolson in blackface. Somehow. Okay, I'm getting glue over the part I don't want to get glue over the part of. Mammy! How I love ya. How I love ya. My dear old mammy. I want the world to see. I want the world to, that. Well, Frederick was on our stream yesterday for a brief moment. I streamed with Briar. I guess I told you that already. And he joined in. How I loves ya, how I loves ya, my dear old mammy. Okay, I've got 2 fish finished. I guess this glue seems to be holding. Let's clear the decks here for our generations of fish. It was very nice. I asked him if he wouldn't mind being the guinea pig for the first sort of face-to-face pen sales, we'll call it, thing. And he said it was fine with him. And so we went forward with it. And he bought 4 pens, including that little Waterman that you once had briefly in your possession, a little black one with the funky edges, funky side. It did have a great nib, and he loved that nib as well. And he also got a larger sized Schaefer Commando size pen with a nib that was very similar. I was planning on bringing that pen to the Urban Sketchers today, so because I've got some Urban Sketchers that are interested in getting some pens. 3 Urban Sketchers, as a matter of fact. And I was planning on bringing both of those, but I can't now because he owns them. But they were really good for drawing. They had a nice rubbery, but I've got other pens that I can bring. Okay, I've got 3 fish. 3 little fish. Do 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 do. And those 3 little fish. Okay, I'm going to make this one be blue body. Come on. And I think this might just have all black dark blue fins without any pinstriping. But we'll see. I'm making fish hummus. Do I know who you are, Hummus? Good morning, Hummus. I'm making little, I make little fish. Are you a pen collector, calligrapher? Are you a penophile of any sort? You heard what I said, penophile. It wasn't being nasty. You stumbled on it without any. You had to have typed something in. I don't think I don't think I can show up automatically. I don't think I'm nearly important enough for that to happen. Make that one that kind of a fish. I know it's none of my business, but could you tell me your first name? I can't imagine it's Hummus, but it could be. Your brother and sister might be Couscous or some other similar name. I'd like you to meet my brother Couscous. Matthew. Okay, Matthew, don't go away. Do not even think of going away. No, I don't want that. See if I can do this. God damn it. Okay, what's wrong with this cap? It wants to fly off my pen. Matthew. aka hummus. U-M-M-U-S. So this pen nib is it's older than I am even. It's 120 years old maybe. And I'm not quite that old. I'm going to be 65 in a few short days, by the way. This thing fell off. Why did it do that? This is what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of this glue not holding. In this chat room, these live chats, and even my personal chats that aren't involved with live things, I often will talk about pens and drawing and stuff. We share a birthday month. Good. It's only twice as old as I am. Yes. When a friend of mine turned 38, he said, no, when he turned 36, he said, I don't want to be 36. I prefer to think of myself as two 17-year-olds, two 18-year-olds. I said, okay, be that way. But I thought that was a nice, healthy and kind of sexy way to age. June 24th. Well, it's almost your birthday, isn't it? Are you on Instagram yet? What's your name again? Who are we talking? Mitt Hodges, Mr. Hodge, as Parker used to say. Still probably does if he ever talked to us. Of course, he said it with his Tallulah Bankhead voice. Mr. Hodge. You'll be 61. Oh, youth. Is Matthew still with us? Or did he find another option? He didn't say how lovely my calligraphy was, did he? Not that he had to. Didn't have to do that if he didn't want to. Well, it's just Instagram is kind of nice because I don't think you don't have to do this in Facebook either, but I really don't think you have to. It's sort of about show and tell. Show without telling, you just show. Sorry, it's not with Facebook. And also, maybe this is another part of it that I like. You have followers rather than friends. It's like, do I want to really be your friend? Not really, but I'm happy to follow you. So it's sort of, oh, you're still here. So where are you in this big world and what do you do? Is this early in the morning? Should you still be sleeping or are you up late or what are you doing? Where are you? How are you? Who are you? What are you? You can answer all of those in whatever order you like. Do you like my calligraphy? My lettering? I need affirmation. I'm going to make that kind of a... Yes, you did. Okay, thank you. Fish, I know, Mighty, I know. Mighty is my biggest fish fan. I'm using the three-way box. Mouse, we have a new person in the room named Hummus or Matthew, and I as yet don't know anything about him other than he stumbled across this channel by accident and his name is Matthew. That's all I know. And maybe that's all I will know. Maybe he is a very private person and doesn't want to tell us any more than that. Uh-oh. God damn it. Okay, I need to find a tail fin for him. Do I have one? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is perhaps a disaster. No, there's one right there. Disaster has been averted. So Matthew, will we know any more about you? And I'll stop pestering you, regardless of your answer. You could say, no, that's all for now. I'll say fine. Mighty Mouse, who is now in the room, lives in the old world. Probably not. I'll take that to mean probably not, that you won't say anything, which is fine. This fish thing that I'm doing, this began sort of by creating other objects, construction vehicles, and construction scenes out of cardboard. And I kept using the medium when that project was over. And then I really, really was having fun with these things. So I've made thousands probably of little fish. And they're so relaxing. It's kind of therapeutic. And they're kind of like a little puzzle. You know, these are not, this is not profound art. I'll show you some other ones I did here. Here's some, uh-oh, how did these get stuck together? Shit. This is a pizza box, actually, that turned into these fish. And I just ordered the same pizza yesterday, so I've got another box I can turn into fish, unless I've got a bunch of pizza juice all over it. Okay, where are my other? I've got little tiny fish. I've got these little, oops, this one's done. I have these little tiny, see, look at this one, Ms. Mouse. This is the body of a fish. Oops. Another little one. Oh, I can hear you say, oh, so cute. Okay, so they all have to have the three colors represented. So this one, I think, is going to have the tri-colored fin. No, he's not going to have the tri-colored fin. I want the fin to be different. No, he can't. He has to be like this. He has to have that kind of fin. That is a given. So, Hummus, may I ask you other questions that are not so personal? I'll ask you this one. Maybe you can answer this. Are you a cat person or a dog person? And I'm just going to tell you that I'm a cat person. So I'm not a dog person at all, but I like cats that are dog-like, and I will endure dogs that are cat-like. You're a dog person. I like cats that are sort of not afraid of people. They're not aggressive in the sense of an aggressive dog, but I don't like shrinking violet cats. And I don't like I like aloof dogs and social cats. I guess that's kind of how I would describe the difference. Okay, this one can have a tri-lobed thing. Now I only have, how many of these do I have? I only have 2. That's an awful lot of finnage for a little tiny fish. Isn't it? So I'm going to cut it down. Oh, there's another one. Good. These little tiny fish, there's not a lot of area to glue. think that has to be bigger. Oh, hey, Grisel van der Reben. Are you having fun with your with Ms. Mouse sharing your drawings? Did you see Affectional Ms. Mouse's color picture she did, which I think is very nice? She told me that she's going back to black and white after this little. Fuck. Glue. I like dogs that are cat-like and cats that are dog. I will endure dog. God damn it! I will endure dogs that are cat-like, and I like cats that are dog-like. I'm not all that fond of cats that are cat-like. Cats that are too skittish and shy, I don't like. I want them to have a little bit of pizzazz. Okay, I'm running out of this. I don't know how I'm going to even glue. There's going to be one molecule of glue that will be able to function on this thing. So I could have, look at this, I can do a striped fin. I want to do that. I want that kind of a fin. That. Big long tail. Well, check real quick. They're really quite lovely. Ms. Mouse. I don't want you to stop making them. It's really quite lovely. I thought. Muscles, what's your name again? Matthew? Hummus? What sort of music do you like? If I can ask that question. Yeah, I sort of felt that too. That it looked very much like you're looking through a microscope at some sort of tissue or something. You like anything, okay? Do you play an instrument? Or sing? I play the ukulele and sing rather well. I mean, I sing kind of okay, and I play the ukulele kind of okay. Piano. Okay, so there we have a face. Happy face. That's a happy fish. If I do that, what color fins does he have to have? He's going to have dark fins. Gristle, it's on her Instagram account. You have to look under Mighty Mouse's Instagram to see what we're talking about. Are you on Instagram, Matthew? If you'd like to see what we're talking about. Okay, that's what I want. I want this one right here. God damn it. Stick. You're not on Instagram? Okay. I'm going to make a guess, and you don't have to answer this. You don't have to confirm or deny, but I'm going to guess that you're not a Gen Xer or a millennial. I think you're probably older than that. Now, you may not be. I'm not asking you to confirm or deny it. It's sometimes people who are a little bit more elderly or old than some are less inclined to be on these platforms, these newer platforms. Is that going to stay? Okay, now let's do this one. Is this going to be that kind of a tail? I think those are better bodies than tails. Well, I'm an artist, Hummus, and I sometimes show the drawings I do on Instagram and Facebook. And it's nice to have that option. Because, and I don't tag like I'm supposed to, but if I did tag like I'm supposed to, I might have a lot more followers. I'm just too lazy to do that. Oops. Okay. Now, this fish. I'm going to give this fish this kind of tail. Oh, God, there's another fish right there. Your, yeah, I have a Tumblr account and I have a Flickr account and I have website, and I haven't updated my website in a decade, and I haven't really done much with my um, my Flickr. Mighty, don't we have challenge drawings that you want to do? Weren't we going to do that? Weren't you, Gristle, and I going to do challenge drawings? This is a little too busy for me, but that's okay. He can be busy. Okay, I need, this fish is going to have a little tail. Kind of a big tail, actually. And he's going to have, oh, look, I've got other tails. I've got these little things. They can go on this fish. I need a face for him, though. Should I give you a challenge? Challenge drawings, for people that don't know what they are, you start with a squiggle and another squiggle and a square and a diamond or whatever you pick. You throw some random shit on a page. So this particular challenge drawing started out with where's my red pencil? It started out with a curve, a triangle, and a dot. It looked like this. And what you do, and it doesn't have to start like this, but this one started like this. You rotate the paper, you keep looking at it until something pops in your head. So in this particular case, here's the thing and the dot. It turned into a face. And it turned into a different face. I rotated this and it turned into, I guess I didn't rotate it. Yes, I did. Here's the smile, here's the swirl, triangle, and eye. And here's the swirl, triangle, and eye. So in one case, the swirl is on the top of the page. The other, so same subject, same beginning, but a different view. Then I turned it sideways, and here's the swirl and the triangle and the dot, and it's Odysseus or Ulysses, whoever it is, tied to the mast, and those were the sirens, and he sang to his crew with the earwax, blah, blah, blah. So this one works. This one, the curve and the thing and the dot is a train going over a broken bridge. No. Then I made this one, a little mouse with cheese and a cat. Cat sees the mouse. That's his tail. And what happens next? The cat eats the cheese and the mouse is crying. Oh, I don't have any cheese. So, what's nice about this game is you don't necessarily have to know how to draw to play it. It's fun for people of all skill sets and age groups. How about this for a face and a mouth? Looks like Homer. Homer Simpson as a fish. This was going to be the mouth down here. I don't know if there's enough. I don't think there's enough gluable surface area for that to work. So we're going to make this mouth a little dot. Looks like he has a little goatee. Oh, good. Well, why don't you do this, Effects Technol? Scribble a simple design and post it on Instagram, and I'll reproduce it and do some right here. You can, when you're done, you can remove it if you want to keep your Instagram pure. Do I have my phone with me? I do have my phone with me. Very funny looking fish, this one. Striped body. The nice thing about this this game is it is sort of about telling a story. They become narrative things. So if you don't know how to draw, but you have a wild imagination, you can say this blob over here is a dog, and this is a man, and this is a girl, and they're having a three-way in bed. Can I say that on YouTube? They can have a menage a bouffe, menage a bark. To squeegee off the glue I don't want here. Doesn't that look like Homer Simpson? Go. A friend of mine was dissuading me from trying a three-way. And he said, Pierre, speaking of my placement, I guess, in this hypothetical, Pierre, being ignored by one person is bad enough, but being ignored by two, thank you very much, Doug. There we go. The Where's Waldo fishes. I had an ex-boyfriend once who said something very funny about me, and it was this. There was a guy in the building here who was quite keen on having sex with other residents of the building, and he had a boyfriend of his own who was a resident of the building, and he ended up talking to my neighbor across the hall about this, and the neighbor was telling me, Pierre, he just won't shut up. He keeps calling me. And he suddenly called me, this guy. And and I knew it was him. And he started off very sort of innocently. And then he eventually, and I sort of knew, I knew where he was going with this conversation because he had never talked to me before, really. In passing, he might say hello, but he never called me up on the phone. And I was wondering why he was calling. Well, I knew why he was calling me on the phone because my neighbor told me that this is what he's going to do, and he'll keep calling you and keep calling you. He doesn't know how to take no for an answer. So anyway, he called me, and I'm hemming and hawing and trying to figure out a way to end the conversation so he won't call back and blah, blah, blah. And my boyfriend at the time was listening to my end of the conversation, and I eventually, said, when the guy asked me if I wanted a bout of phone sex, I said no thank you, and then I politely hung up. Anyway, the point of this conversation is I then had to explain to my, at the time, boyfriend what it was that I was just dealing with. And I said, well, it's this guy that calls on the phone. He doesn't take no for an answer. He blah, 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 blah. And my boyfriend was getting more and more upset. And he finally shrieked in a rather shrill voice when he wanted it to be. He finally said, Pierre, just have sex with him. He'll never call you back. Fuck you. Just have sex with him, Pierre. Did you all spit out your coffee? Are you still with us, Matthew? Have I offended you in the conversations? Not at all. Okay, good. I've changed my whole outlook on stuff. I've become less worried about what people think about me. I really don't care. My father, when he was alive, and when my mother was alive earlier than that, I think I was a little bit more cautious, but I don't care. This is not the right tail, dorsal fin for this fish. Where did it go? Here it is. Well, being juvenile is part of what we do so well. And we love being juvenile when Parker's in the background because it's so much fun to make him have a brain. What is it called? Starts with an A. Aneurysm. Okay, how many fish did I do with this box? I can still make more. I've got lots of parts left, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16. 16 fish. We've got the striped fish, the dark fish, the light fish. We don't have any white-bodied fish. I wasn't able to make that happen because I'd have to glue an eyeball. I could have had a white fish aiming at us, but this is fun. I think I can stop. I think I can stop with this one. Oh, I never used these, did I? Am I going to have to make one with that? Then I think I feel I'd have to make 2. See, look at this fun tail with a round end. Okay, let's just make them. I need a face and a body. This is one that's looking down at you. I need help me, people. You're not helping me. Well, let's just make his body. Can do that. Well, Marilyn was here this morning already. So Matthew, do you have any artistic? You played the piano. What about visual arts? Are you good at any of that? Effects Technol, did you send me a challenge yet? I suppose I could get off my fat ass and look, right? I don't even have to get off my fat ass. No. Instagram. No, you have not done this yet. Effects Technol. So I am arranging a Thursday side-by-side thing here with an ink guy, and I'm gonna try to have him explain to me his ink process of coming up with ink reviews, what the difference is between this kind of a thing and that kind of a thing. So it was hard for me to sort of understand, bleeding and feathering. What's the difference between both of those? Yeah, I might have understood if I maybe paid a little tiny bit more attention to it, but those sorts of things are so sort of uninteresting to me in when I'm drawing. One of the things that he wants to do, he said, is to simplify it. He's not going to have as many permutations and factors as he did. I think one of the things he could do is never change the paper. Just pick a single paper and deal with it. But he does use all different papers, so again, it's just even more complicated to get a. Okay, I need a face for this thing. This needs a face. Look at that. I've got two eyes. Little itty bitty, tiny, teeny, tiny eyes. They're little periods there. No. He's going to have a mouth. going to have this kind of a big dot mouth. So Matthew, if you're still here in the room, why don't you say one thing about yourself that is not giving away too much, but something that you would like us to know? What would you like some strangers to know about you? Let's say you were at a train station and took up a conversation with someone, and you were stuck on the train for an hour and none of your devices worked, and you had to talk about something that you were interested in. What would you be interested in? As one of my students once said to me when I was asked him, "Do you want to be Tom or Thomas?" As I was trying to figure out, how people wanted me to talk to him, and he said, "Whatever turns your crank." And I thought, well, so he became, subsequent to that conversation, he became Tom Turn Your Crank. That's how I referred to him. Oh, is he? He looks like a biker. He doesn't look like a math guy, but he does look like a biker. I like when I had him on here before, I said, I can't remember, are you the math guy or the ink guy, or are you a ink guy? And he said, I'm an ink guy. I am not presumptuous enough to be I would never presume to be the ink guy. You do like hummus. Okay, so if you want, you can tell me to shut up, but what one subject, doesn't have to be your favorite subject, but what one subject would you not mind having a conversation with another person, a stranger, about? Because we have more interest, believe it or not, than fish and pens and typewriters and electronics and real estate and art and playing the ukulele. this glue is not sticking to this fish. There's too little of it. Sometimes on fish like this that don't want to glue, I have to add a layer of cardboard on the back that I can glue all of the parts to. You're not really sure? Now, when I go to the barber shop, for example, not that I have been to a barber shop in forever, but you know, the hairdresser the barber hairdresser. I go to barbers. You know, did you see the game? Thinking that I actually care about sports, which I don't. But he thinks I do. He thinks most guys would. And then they talk about the weather, and then they talk about the cab driver will talk about the weather, and he'll talk about the traffic, and he'll talk about politics, and he'll talk about sports. None of those things really interest me. But the Lyft drivers, when I talk to a Lyft driver, they almost always have a doctorate in something already, and they're doing this just for fun, this driving people around. And we have really, really interesting conversations, the Lyft drivers and me, because they're actually interesting. I imagine cab drivers can be interesting, but most of them that I have dealt with are in fact not interesting. Look at this, I can make another striped fish. Striped body fish. Which means that I have to come up with a different head. Shit. Where did this body go? Did I just lose it? Damn it. There it is. It's right here. See? Yeah, send it to Mouse too. Mouse can draw it and post it, and I can draw it and post it. So Hummus, when you're stuck in a cab and the cab driver starts talking to you, do you say, oh my God, thank God he's talking about something that I give a shit about? So what is that give a shitable thing? You can tell us that, I think. You wouldn't be giving up your state clearance personality or whatever the hell it was. Too much into science? Okay. Now, Grizzle, you're the guy in France, right? Or am I getting confused again? You're the guy from France who is a drawer. Is that correct? Okay, this is what we have. This is the starting point. An S, a squiggle, and a frown, or a triangle. So let me get a piece of paper and draw that out a couple of different times. Come up with a couple of different answers. Okay, I'm going to use this pencil. So we have a squiggle, an S, a squiggle, and a that. It's not quite in that. Let's do this again. S. Oops. I'll do 4. Oh, okay. You're no. Okay, you're okay. Okay. I was confused. I thought you were someone from yesterday. Okay, I'm remembering now. More. Okay, so here we have this. Let me get something I can draw on that's sturdier. So this game, you can rotate this thing. You know, this could be a mouse tail. Kitty. Could be a cat tail. This reminds me, they're in electronics. This means something, I think, doesn't it? Some sort of connection or transistor or circuit. There's our elephant. It's being scared. Elephants are scared of mice, right? Here's the mouse. Mouse's tail. Oh, ears. And the elephant saw it, and the elephant jumped up. Kind of lame. Coil. Okay. Kitty. Okay, what else can this be? I keep seeing a train. It's a thunderstorm, lightning bolts. And here's the path of Superman. That's his cape. Super. And he was hit by lightning, so he's careening down to Gotham. Was it Gotham City? What was the name of Superman's town? The Daily Planet. Metropolis. whatever it is. There's the Daily Planet. Okay, 2 down. So you don't have to draw very well to play this game. Stick figures are perfectly fine. And a bald eagle with a comb over. Not a very good comb over. Bald eagle with a comb over, sitting on a branch. He doesn't want to. He can't say that he's bald. He just doesn't have that ability. He has to pretend that his hair is just as luxuriant as it was when he was a chick, or whatever bald eagles are when they're chicks, when they're little. Okay. Okay, this is an exotic dancer. And she's exotic because in addition to being quite a beauty lips, she has 3 boobs. That's supposed to be a beautiful woman. And she's dancing on top of a curved bar. And there's all sorts of ogling men, drunk, sitting on their bar stools, just transfixed by this beauty, trying to give her money in her garter belt, her G-string, whatever these are called. What do you think? Isn't she hot? Can you imagine 3 boobs? 3 sagging teats? Have I lost my audience? Do they have to be legitimate movies or can they be porn movies? Brenda suckles the what sports team has 3 members on it? If she had 12 boobs or something, it could be a baseball team or something. I don't know how many. So 1, 2. How many fish did I do? What happened to my last little fish? I just made a little striped fish. Where did it go? I'm missing a fish. At least one fish I'm missing. It's the one with the... Did he get stuck to the bottom of one of my pieces of paper? Yeah, I was going with that initially with this Superman one, but I ended up changing my mind because the smoke would have to go through more contortions than I thought I wanted to make it do. Well, where did my little... I just made that fish. I slaved over that fish with the little... It's not here. It's the one that has the black and white striped body. It sort of looked like that, except it had 3 stripes. There's another one I can make. Fall on the floor. Ah, it's right here. I'm not done with it yet. I need a mouth. This is another one of those Gloria Swanson mouths. So are you making an answer response to your challenge, Defextanol? Okay, so there's a big frowny Gloria Swanson mouth. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMello. So what kind of tail is this one gonna have? I guess it's gonna have that kind of a tail. Come on, stick. Stick! You heard me. Okay, I will check my IG. So you made a spoon and a fork at Camp Cutlery. And at Camp Cutlery, they have a skateboard park. I think that's quite lovely. Well, one of the rules, this game has few rules, but one of the rules is you can't do, let's say, 3 separate drawings that are unrelated. You have to sort of make one drawing. So you may not have planned yours to be Camp Cutlery being a skateboard park, but that's what it has to be. Camping Cutlery. It does have that look a little bit. I like your detail that you put in there. Okay, do you want to give us another one? Or do you want me to give you one? Oh, okay. It's a good game. It's kind of like the sentence game in the sense of we all are in the same place and we move and come up with interesting responses. Oh, let me, is it on her page, her thing? For a second, I initially looked at this mouse and I thought, I thought that she was, I don't know why I thought this was knitting and these were her knitting needles and she was upset because she purled one and dropped 2 or whatever. But I see that that isn't the case. She's wearing a ruffled collar and she has a nose piercing, which is very clever of her. I like her shaded arms. Maybe they're hairy arms. She has hairy arms. Funny. Do you like this game, Hummus? We could play the sentence game. We haven't done that in a while. Oh, I need to get fins for him. Completely forgot. Side fins. So he's white with blue. Okay, now I have to remember what I think the answer, your yeah is to you like this game. Let's play the sentence game. Mighty. So you come up with the letters and I will explain. Come up with 7 letters and I will explain how this game works. I put these on the wrong fish. God damn it. God. So the game is we are given a number of letters in particular random letters in a particular order. If they weren't random, it would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But they're not. But they can be. They could be that letter, that one. A is the first, B is the second, etc. It could be O, D, E, S, H, M. For example, you write those down in that order, and then you come up with a sentence that has to be a real sentence, not a. It could be it has to make logical sense as a sentence. With a verb and a noun and a subject and a whatever they need to have. It needs to have all of that. And we play the game where we come up with a sentence, and it's amazing how similar and dissimilar they can be. So our sentence is T, V, G, G, A, T, G, C, B, H. Boy, that's a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so the first word has to start with a T. The second word has to start with a V. So, for example, 2 vaginas got greedy and they got cocks by, no, 2 very greedy, 2 vaginas got greedy and they grabbed cocks between H, by H. I'm having a hard time finishing my sentence. Okay, cat. My cat wants attention, wants food, wants something. My cat is being rather cat-like today. You know what that means? Cat, you're being very finicky. This one has the tiniest. They can't be that tiny. They have to be bigger than that. Maybe they can come out of there. I think they have to come out. This very gigantic gator ate the guy crawling beneath him. Oh, good. Kitty. See, you're a poet, though, so you know how sentence structure comes easy. Kitty. What? What do you want? Okay, the very gigantic gator. Yeah, they're really fun games. I love both of them a lot. And sometimes the narrator of the sentence game, sometimes it's hard to come up with a bunch of random letters. You could use a Scrabble set and just pick them out of a bag. But sometimes it's fun to take them out of an actual book. And for example, here's letters out of a sentence. So IWTYOAFMTCTHACDWB. Now, that doesn't have to be Proust. It will take you only a few minutes to clean the humidifier as it has a convenient detachable water base. Gay Greek army. Yeah, they certainly did. So that's nice. It's really cool too when sentences can are sometimes they're connected to each other by different people where let's see if I can figure this out. Sometimes when you have two or three people, two or three people will accidentally come up in a group of 6 or 7 will accidentally come up with the same noun, like I had the word K in a sentence and it seemed to me 2 people came up with kitchen as the K and 3 other people came up with kids, which, was kind of interesting. So the kids were quite well represented in this group. So when you heard 3 sentences about kids, then you sort of had a novel starting. So Mighty, what do you think of these fish? No, what I do is I hang them I put them on a wall usually. I'll show you what the wall in my hallway looks like. I have to make sure that you don't see any of the pictures that aren't made for adults. Here's the wall in my hallway. And I have enough fish probably to fill the gallery 3 times over. I have a lot of fish. And a lot of people in my building really like them, and they asked me, can you put up a school of fish by my door? And I said, sure. So I take a bunch of fish. But let me just show you some. Here, a second, if I can find them. here's a big box. Okay, these are fishes I'm going to bring to our family house. And I made this portrait. Here's a big fish. This is my mom. And this is my dad. My mom was rather skinny, and she was relatively plain in her dress, and my father was relatively flamboyant in his dress. And he would, you know, get fully dressed in the morning and then add one thing. And my mother would get fully dressed in the morning and maybe remove a piece of jewelry. She wasn't a jewelry person or anything. My father. So anyway, so these are two big fish. And then I've got these and that one. There are hundreds of the fucking things everywhere. These are green. They belong in that box. Uh-oh. We have a malfunction. So I was going to bring a lot of these fish up to the lake because we have a bunch of blue and white plates. My father was born on the 4th of July, so I have a lot of red, white, and blue ones as well. And we have a bathroom that is orange and white. And I thought I would put the orange ones in that bathroom. And then the red, white, and blue ones in an area. Come on, Pierre. So because I have to pack these up in a few days to bring to Minneapolis, let me get these organized here. So I'm going to bring this one and this one. Oh, little tiny orange one. I don't think I want to bring any of those. These are all made of one box. As part of that box. These are very dark. I think I'm going to bring this one. My dad had a store called Anthony's, and the logo looked like that. So I think I'm going to bring some of these. Or should I just bring all of these? I'll bring all of them. Red, white, and blue. Well, thank you. They blow me away, and I made them. I made the damn things. This is one of those fish that spits and kills the fly, but the fly fell off. It's made of a shoebox. I think these are the same. When I started making these, I wasn't thinking of turning them into schools of fish. It was only later that I did that. So, red, white, and blue. Oh, this is from a Corona box. Corona beer. There's a big fat fish. So these were really fun. They are still fun to do. I'm still doing the damn things, but as you can see, why is this one Corona? Corona. I have a feeling my brothers are going to be very upset when I bring all of these home. They're going to say, "Pierre, we don't have room for this. This house is going to look junky." That's what you think of my art? This is a harpoon ale fish. I think I can bring that one. I may not put all of these up, but I just want to bring a group. There's a fish that got stuck in a bottle, swam in and couldn't get out. Okay, done. This is from a Heineken. Anyway, okay, put these away. These will go to Minneapolis. Points north. Need another box to put my orange ones in. Come on. Where are you? Come on, Mom and Dad. Good. Also, I think I'm going to bring all these. I have some red, white, and blue fish that I made the other day. So, not them. Where are they? Oh, see you later. Black and white. Red, white, and blue. Here they are. So these are rather subtle, red, white, and blue. The blue is very dark. Well, these are the ones I want. Oh, I can't get rid of. I can't bring those up there because I want to turn them into more animations. Okay, this is waiting to be fish. These are fish that are finished. I'm sorting these out. I should just put them away. This is going to be animation. Another one that was going to be animation. These are going to be sorted out. They have another pizza box, so I can make more of those. I'm going to leave those here. And is Hummus still in the room? Can Hummus say why he chose Hummus as a name? Is that, or will we have to be killed? You know, I think I'm going to bring these back too, because these are American flag based fish. So I'll bring these with me. Take a picture of them first, though. I need to eat something. But I need to. Bye, everyone.